I come back to the ultimate pain simulator, where every item I own has durability, and I can only use it once. Yep, that includes wings, Hermes boots, and basically everything that makes moving or surviving even remotely possible. After this heroic win against the Wall of Flesh, I immediately ran to the corruption and smashed some demon altars. Now that Hardmode is here, I could finally blow up some hellstone, craft the molten pickaxe, and go on a proper mining trip. But Hardmode brings near enemies and my old weapons totally useless, even against the easiest mobs. And remember, I'm still armorless, so taking damage now hits just a little bit more. Things didn't go as planned, but I knew I'd be seeing this little death counter more than some kids see their dads. I crafted a palladium pickaxe and ran straight from the through ore. Suddenly, blood moon. I died. And the entire first floor died with me. After this uneventful night, I bought more grenades and headed back into the ice caves to mine more palladium for the juicy armor.
Oh! Warum kommt da so ein komisches Kackvieh? Warum will mir das alles auf den Sack gehen? Da kommt es!
Actually, the real reason I went down here was for some early game very decent spider equipment. With my 18 farmed spider fangs, I crafted a spider staff. But of course, I was greedy and wanted more. Out of despair, I crafted the palladium armor to at least have something protecting me and my non-existent dignity. You know what they say, 5th time's the charm. I found more fangs, got bored because there was no Subway server video in the corner, so I decided to mine instead. Soon I remembered why I was actually down here and went back to farm fangs. But instead of pigrons messing with me, it was floating swords now.
Oh, kommen jetzt auch einmal Schwerter und gleich 2!
Finally, after enough chaos, I crafted the armor. I didn't feel like diving back into the caverns only to get killed another second, so I decided to build a kinda AFK farm for future events. I also crafted another pickaxe for the future. After this goddess-like AFK farm, Theodore built a similar herb farm. With that done, I remembered that the Dryad sells the opposite evil biome seed after defeating the Wall of Flesh, bought some seeds and constructed a floating biome right above my home.
Oh!
Bro, alright.
I noticed I hadn't explored the right side of my world yet, so I headed out, found another corruption biome, smashed altars, and quickly found my teleporter back to spawn and that walking bandage. After the game reminded me that dying on the surface is just as brutal as in the caverns, I went down again. I mined more ores, found another homeless man, and got eaten by a sandworm. I had enough to craft the titanium furnace, and greedy me destroyed more demon altars to get even more ores. As I teleported back, yet another blood moon rose, and I decided to farm it. Yeah, baby! With the night behind me and my pockets full of loot, I turned my attention to something bigger, constructing a Souls of Light farm. But why stop there? A Souls of Night farm was calling my name.
Oh, hier! Natürlich.
With more than enough Souls of Night, I crafted 3 mechanical worms. But before I dedicate myself to him, I thought about saving some time in the long run. So of course a genius idea struck me. Build a massive sky railway.
Natürlich.
That way, I could travel from point A to point B without wasting 3 hours. I quickly ran out of minecart tracks and had no iron left. So back into the underground. I got sniped and crafted more tracks, hopefully enough this time. While I peacefully constructed my railway, the destroyer decided to announce himself. With absolutely no armor and half destroyed underpowered weapons, I knew this was going to be another death on my account. After a minute, he arrived. Honestly, I didn't give a fuck, because I was already dead inside and continued building my railway. Suddenly, the destroyer thought enough was enough and blasted my ass. The progression went semi-well. After some cruel time, I finally arrived at the ocean. Only one way to go. I expanded the railway to the left, found a floating island, and even got clapped by a slime. Okay, enough building the railway. I farmed some wyverns for the juicy souls and started building an arena for the destroyer. I've actually never fought the destroyer fairly, and this obviously wasn't going to change in this run. And then it was finally time to face the destroyer properly. The cheese is pretty simple. You build a dirt house high enough, place about 34 blocks underneath the platform with some chests on top so they don't get destroyed, throw dynamite down, and after you hear the first explosion you summon the destroyer. So I waited for nightfall, climbed into my dirt box and...
Es war so klar, es war so klar.
I killed the wyvern, went back, and of course another wyvern spawned immediately.
Ah, kommt noch einer hier wohl.
The night was already half over, but the cheese method kills the boss relatively fast, so I tried my luck anyway. I tossed my dynamite, but then a fucking harpy snuck inside. I panicked, swapped to the wrong slot, and accidentally summoned the destroyer. But of course, it wasn't even the destroyer that killed me, it was another wyvern. After yet another win for the wyvern, I had enough and went mining for titanium. After dying instantly, I at least could craft titanium armor, though I stashed it away as an emergency backup. When night arrived again, I gave the destroyer another shot. I put my titanium armor on and gave the destroyer another shot. Everything was running smoothly until... Apparently having even a single NPC nearby prevents them from spawning. I didn't know that. With that wonderful knowledge, I built a floating house for a poor soul doomed to live there forever. No. Wait. I farmed Souls of Night and my pickaxe broke. At least I could finally craft wings and a mithril drill. But then, as if on cue, the destroyer decided to spawn naturally and attacked me again. Since he came on his own, timing my dynamite was rough, but I tried my best. Of course, things ended with another heartbreaking defeat.
Can't do it. I can't take this shit no more, man.
After this collapse, I knew I had to break free from this insanity. So I switched focus to another boss, the twins. And since I had just wasted a perfectly good titanium armor set, there was no way I was going to fight them fair and square either. For my next cheese method, I needed the Daedalus Stormbow dropped by the hallowed mimic. And with that, I completely ran out of Keys of Light. And after wasting those 45 souls for absolutely nothing, I really wasn't in the mood to farm more. Instead, I decided to upgrade my gear again. I mined some titanium, crafted a pickaxe and the repeater, and started building my next big cheese setup. The strategy was straightforward. 5 teleporters connected in a loop with pressure plates. And every time one of the twins dashed, I just teleport out of their reach. But even without the Stormbow, I felt confident my spiders can clear them easy. I died. But honestly, it went way better than any of my destroyer attempts. All it needed was more space, so I widened the teleport setup. Then the wyvern spawned, I had enough and rage disconnected.
Hey, disconnected.
But night came again, so it was time for round 2. So yeah, not the twins, but time itself defeated me. After yet another loss, pretty much the new normal at this point, I went to the Hello to farm pixie dust for upgraded healing potions. But at least my RNG finally decided to help me out. I got the Lilith necklace, which was actually massive for movement. A real life day later, I stumbled across another destroyer cheese method. This one was supposed to be idiot proof, no way to fail. Exactly what I needed. The setup was pretty simple. Get a star cannon and a ridiculous amount of stars. Summon the destroyer at world spawn, then teleport to a floating house over the ocean. From there, zoom out of the map, place your cursor on the destroyer's icon, and blast away until he is deleted.
What the hell?
With that goal in mind, I mined Meteorite for the Star Cannon. And luckily, throughout this cursed challenge, I had already gathered a decent amount of fallen stars. Hopefully more than enough. The only obstacle left in my way? Floating islands blocking my shooting stars. So I had to wipe them out.
Let's do this.
To increase my damage, I transformed the melee emblem I got from the Wall of Flesh into a ranger emblem. With that upgrade done, I destroyed the last floating island in my way, and then it was finally time. I summoned the destroyer, waited for him to come close enough, and started shooting. I died, but honestly, who cares at this point? I was used to it. What actually mattered, the destroyer was finally dead. For the first time in forever, I actually made progress. You have no idea how much that meant, especially since my options to kill bosses kept shrinking after every failed attempt. Of course, I tried to kill him again, but as you can see, I ran out of stars and well, another death.
Nein, zu wenig Sterne.
Still, 1 mega boss down, 2 to go. With my twins arena already set up, it was obvious what came next. I forced myself back into farming Souls of Light.
Fick dich! Oh man, die Imps sind so ass, aber auch.
At this point I had some weapons left to try, so I went with the mini shark for the hello chest. Bad idea. I realized very quickly that I was doing basically no damage, except for the cursed bullet damage. I died.
Natürlich krieg ich auch wieder die Scheiße, Mann. Ich hab beides schon.
Back to the farm. At least I managed to snag some new weapons to work with. But of course, out of nowhere, that motherfucker spawned and decided I farmed enough. With my Me-Free repeater broken, I switched to its bigger, better brother and of course went back to farming hallowed mimics.
Ja, der Hawk, ja, super.
Then, just to rub even more salt in the wound, I got killed by a rain cloud. Finally, I grabbed most of my broken junk and went to the shimmer to at least recycle them into something useful. I transformed them back and of course, I fell straight through the shimmer and died.
Wo kommst du denn her?
With my new transformed items, I crafted the Mithril armor, which I luckily hadn't wasted yet, and went, you guessed it, straight back to the Souls of Light farm. At least with my new Queen Spider staff, farming was way less painful. And then, on my 100th Chaos Elemental kill, I actually got the Rod of Discord. With enough souls farmed, it was finally time to play Gambling Simulator.
Let's go gambling! Aw, dang it! 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 Oh my god. I won! I actually won!
With finally getting the Stormbow, I wasted no time and summoned the twins.
That was easy.
And just like that, the second mega boss was down. Only one more to go. But before facing him, I decided to expand my railway to the next sponsor. You! That's right, this video is proudly sponsored by the subscribe button. Click now to unlock exclusive access to absolutely nothing. But hey, it makes the number go up, and who doesn't like numbers going up?
Whatever.
For Skeletron Prime, I wanted to use the Mega Shark, so I went to the ocean, built a shark farm, and waited for hours.
I am under the water.
Eventually, I got the last shark fin, crafted the Mega Shark, and slept on a juicy modifier. For ammo, I went with crystal bullets. Since I had already wasted palladium, mithril, and titanium armor, I paid my lovely Shimmer another visit. I transformed my titanium ore into a adamantite. Adamantite? Adamantite? The red ore. And crafted the armor.
Nein!
I gave it a shot, and yeah, let's just go cheese him. But first, I needed more iron for minecart tracks. My plan was the same strat that is used for the Dungeon Guardian, basically building a giant circle where Skeletron Prime can't hit me. And when night fell once again, it was finally time to take revenge for Skeletron Prime's sudden visit earlier. With that victory, I crafted my hard-earned minecart upgrade kit and went to sleep. The next day, Theodore built a memorial house for all the broken items in this run. After finishing the build, I suddenly realized that now a huge angry plant was waiting for me in the jungle. And based on all the broken items I had used, boss fighting clearly wasn't working that well. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna cheese Plantera. Because fuck that stupid plant. Welcome back to Terraria's kitchen. Today we're preparing a fresh dish called cheese a la Plantera. Step 1. Add 99 target dummies until the game literally breaks. Step 2. Throw in a couple of beehives for that extra crunch. Step 3. Line it all up with 1,000 flares until the world cries for help. And voila! A Michelin star level cheese that turns one of the hardest bosses in the game into a decorative houseplant. I bought some flares and noticed the sickle you need to harvest hay actually has durability. That was a huge problem. I could only craft 18 target dummies, but I needed 100. Less than ideal. But before dealing with that, I built some new houses, went into the jungle again, found a Plantera bulb, and built even more houses right next to it. I bought pylons to finally teleport around and save me some time. I harvested some hive blocks, died, and crafted some beehives. Then something really unfortunate happened. I tried to place my target dummies in a chest and my game suddenly crashed. And then when I reloaded, I somehow had 36 dummies. Tried it again. No, it was 54. A third time, it crashed again. I'm never putting target dummies in the chest again. The only good thing, I suddenly had enough dummies to actually do the cheese. I placed 99 target dummies, grabbed every melee weapon I could find, bought some grenades, and prepared myself for the fight. I set up the beehives, tested the spawn limit with the queen bee, and then summoned Plantera. And it worked. She was stuck, completely unable to move.
Stop, bro, I'm stuck.
I got two hoes, one is a dude and one is a bro. I take two loads.
But after reaching the projectile limit, I realized something.
Meine Granate funktioniert ja nicht.
Grenades didn't work, and half of my weapons didn't either.
Die funktioniert auch nicht. Scheiße.
After about 4000 HP gone, the first flare despawned. I died. It's incredible. I decided to cheat that boss and somehow still managed to completely mess it up. After humiliating myself in that fight, I crafted some non-projectile weapons and went straight back to mining for ores and especially live fruits. In my case, that meant dying to turtles, traps, and even my own grenades. But in the end, I crafted a full chlorophyll armor set and prepared to boost my melee speed. Now all I needed was some flares and a new Plantera bulb. And just as I was about to start placing the target dummies, a turtle decided to send me back to spawn.
Goodbye, my nigger. Back to the lobby.
Voll vergessen.
Even after deleting some weapons, I managed to kill Plantera and finally reach the end game. But there was no time to waste. An angry statue was now waiting for me. I got the pygmy stuff out of the treasure bag, which was actually pretty decent. I transformed all my hallowed items back into bars and planned my strategy for the golem. First, I went to the dungeon to hopefully get some juicy post-Plantera weapons and maybe farm some ectoplasm for the future. After being vaporized back to spawn, I came up with an idea. I craft both mage and ranger headgear for the clarified armor so I could switch class mid-fight if a weapon breaks. With that in mind, I started farming spider fangs to craft the poison staff, which I could then use to make the venom staff. And of course, mine some chlorophyte. And with a bit of luck, I also found 2 more live fruits. I crafted the venom staff, the shot bow with arrows, and the last headgear. All that was left now was to step into the temple and face Golem. You know, the boss that's supposed to be an easy one. I entered the temple, died instantly, I cleared the path through the temple. And then I met someone I never thought I'd see again. It was
Larry.
The game is broken! I have enough! I have enough!
I equipped myself, took a deep breath, and summoned the Golem.
Without a shadow of a doubt, you are one of the biggest cunts walking the face of this earth.
No, 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 no. Wait.
I decided to deal with the pirate invasion now, before it got on my nerves later. And at least I got the pirate staff. After that side quest was done, I dedicated myself to being a punching bag for the Golem again. I made the arena less crowded and summoned the Golem again. After half of his HP was gone, I felt confident. Then I looked at my HP.
Whoa, hey.
Then out of the sudden, the Rod of Discord came into my mind. With that item, this fight was going to be easy. I just built a huge arena right next to the temple. But right as I started construction, pirates decided to show up again. And I died.
Meine Fresse. Fuck mich doch nicht alle ab, Mann. Warum sind jetzt die Piraten schon wieder? Ihr wart doch gerade eben ihr wart vor 2 Tagen hier.
I ignored the pirates and went back building the arena. I almost finished the arena, which meant I had to deal with the pirates one last time. After that, nothing stood between me and the Golem. With the Rod of Discord, I teleported into the temple, summoned the Golem, and teleported out again. I accidentally went too far, and the Golem despawned. Great, 2 uses wasted for nothing. Back in the temple, I summoned him again, and the fight was on.
Oh, ich bin aber auch Ass, Mann. Die Waffe ist natürlich auch gleich wieder am Arsch.
With yet another humiliating loss, and my armor almost broken, new armor was needed. I decided to build my own glowing mushroom biome to craft shroomite armor in the future. But not so fast. First, take this.
Alter.
I somehow survived that eclipse without demonetizing myself, and I could finally build the biome.
One is a dude and one is a crow. I take 2.
Was passiert bitte hier? Hallo?
I tried the teleporter cheese, hoping it somehow works, but of course it doesn't. After that failed attempt, I decided to face my fate and teleported back. I cleaned the remains of my deaths and decided once again to go into the dungeon.
Ohne Witz, was geht denn hier ab? Warum? Oh, er kann schießen! Er kann schießen! Warum schießt der riesige Kackschädel?
But I went back and died more often than I'd want to admit. So I decided to take a break. After all those deaths, my clarified armor gave up and I transformed it back into bars.
Nein.
I contemplated my life decisions and bought the Tiki armor, plus the Hercules Beetle. Overconfident with my fresh new summoner armor, I went back to the dungeon for the juicy loot that was mine. With so many new items I cried and some time passed, I visited my biome. And it was finished. I built a shit shack a la Theodore, and with the farmed ectoplasm, I could finally craft suspected armor. I tinkered with some accessories I hadn't used yet, and this is what came out. I expanded the railway until the truffle arrived. I wanted to buy the auto hammer, but it cost 89 gold. I had 5. And because I didn't want to farm anymore, I decided it was time to face a golem again. I defeated the golem, and it took me only about 7 hours right after I killed Plantera. Great! And with that, I was one step closer to finishing this hellish challenge. Unfortunately, I got the pixel and the golem fists, but no accessories. I thought, why not try to kill the lunatic cultist right after, as there was no big upgrade in armor and weapons anyway.
Goodbye, my nigger. Back to the lobby.
But I didn't want to leave it there. If I could just for once log in and prepare myself properly, I could defeat the lunatic cultist. So I started fishing, crafted some juicy potions, went into the underground jungle to find the remaining life fruits, as well as the shimmer upgrade from the Aegis fruit. I started to farm glowing mushrooms and more money, but I could sadly only craft 26 runette bars, so back to farming. With that, I had my backup plan ready, in case the Spectral armor breaks or the mage class fails.
I'm getting really sick of you!
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
With that death, I had enough. I decided to prep myself for every class I could at this point, meaning preparing 3 loadouts: melee, ranger and mage. I went to the underground jungle and only came out until I had enough turtle shells to craft the turtle armor. I crafted for all 3 sets some wings and took fitting accessories.
Come on, man! That's too easy!
With that 3-class setup, I defeated the lunatic cultist pretty easily, if I only prepped every boss like this. But before facing the Moonlord, I had to destroy the 4 pillars, and the first on my list was the Vortex pillar right next to my home. This didn't end well. Surprisingly, it was easier than I expected. I built myself in and let my summons handle the rest. Oh, and the demonic fog is absolutely insane against the pillars. Next, I tried the Nebula pillar, but I got unalived in seconds. So I decided to prep my gear for the Moonlord before facing the pillars. That meant farming unicorns for holy arrows and doing a totally unique chlorophyte mining session for chlorophyte bullets. My go-to weapons were going to be, obviously, the Vortex Blaster and the Phantasm. With that done, I tried the Nebula pillar again. Fuck this, I'm choosing another pillar. The Stardust pillar was surprisingly easy to cheese. Star cells split into 4 mini cells when killed, then grow back. So I killed about 100 outside the pillar range, keeping the other enemies from bothering me. For the solar pillar, I built a defensive structure,
Self-defense mechanism.
and immediately died. After dying again, I crafted the Stardust summon staff and eventually killed enough enemies and started blasting. Before destroying the last pillar, I needed an arena. I went with a simple but effective solution: asphalt blocks. So I bought the Blendomatic from the Steampunker to craft them. Asphalt blocks have a unique feature: you get faster over time, even without accessories. I crafted roughly 700 blocks, but thought it wasn't enough. So I defeated King Slime about 17 times, making me 2 gold richer after tax. With the acquired gel, I crafted a total of 1400 blocks and built the highway. And here's the smart part: I placed the teleporter at the beginning and end of the highway with pressure plates, so I get teleported right to the start without losing speed. Last but not least, I placed campfires, buff stations and heart lanterns.
Do you have any idea how fast I am?
I found the last glowing mushrooms to craft the other Shroomite headgear that increased bow damage. With my weapons and armor ready, I just needed some buff potions and new accessories. So first I went fishing. After building artificial habitats for fishes and fish every fish I needed, I crafted the potions. With the accessories, I went for the Master Ninja gear, the Avenger emblem, and some filler accessories for extra defense. Only missing were wings, so I went for the most expensive ones. The Steampunker wings, which cost a whopping 2 platinum and 85 gold. With them acquired, I went down to the Goblin Tinkerer and reforged my accessories with absolutely useless modifiers. With that done, I prepared myself for the hardest part, dealing with that fucking pillar.
Ich bin direkt gejumpt, Digga, was ist denn das? Was ist da gerade gebrochen?
I crafted the Superstar Shooter just in case, and after wasting all my hoarded used armors and weapons, I finally killed enough enemies to attack the pillar. My Spectre staff broke, I used all my stars, and relied on leftover weapons like the Grey Zabinator, the Flintlock, and even the Diamond Staff from the beginning.
Oh my god! Okay, it's happening! Everybody stay calm! What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure? Stay calm!
What? Oh mein Gott! Holy fucking shit!
I couldn't believe my eyes. I managed to kill the Moonlord without any cheese, and on the first try. I was genuinely impressed by myself. More importantly, I finished this challenge. For me, it was a truly hard challenge, and I had the idea to try it on Master Mode. I know, if I had prepared more for every boss, it would probably have been easier. But what kind of wreck video would it be if I didn't keep it to the absolute minimum? I hope you enjoyed this video. Even if I mentally aged 70 years, I had fun. And I hope you did too. Leave a like and subscribe if you want to go insane like me. Until next time.